Welcome to the podcast. It's the best podcast in the world. This is going to end up on the show. I know it, motherfucker.
The bodies lying all around. They do not speak or make a sound. The round extension fills the air. What have they done? I can just turn away the sin and on me every day. A baby boy will have to die.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to Epitome of Stupidity, your favorite fucking metal show. The intro today is Pit of Solitude by the Columbus thrash-tastic dudes Takacs. Their guitar player, Chris, is also a fantastic artist whose art will be featured in this year's Prints and Pints here in Columbus. His art was also featured last year. And Prints and Pints just happens to be the subject for today's show. It's an awesome event that I genuinely look forward to every year. I mean, it's cool fucking art and beer. What's not to look forward to? But more on that here shortly. If you're new here, welcome in. I'm Clint. I'll be your host. There'll be about 3-ish minutes of me setting things up here, and then we'll be off to the kind of part 2 of the Columbus-centric back-to-back shows I promised you last week. While we're setting things up, hit that there subscribe button for me to wherever it is that you're enjoying this from, because I know you're enjoying it. If you're a returning customer, yes, the customer is always right, but there will not be any refunds. Also, I realize these Columbus-related shows may not be for everyone, but don't worry. I've got a handful of bands lined up after this that are fucking great, and you should be looking forward to them. One of them might have, they might officially be in the lead for Album of the Year for me as well. But even if you're not from around here, you should still listen, because you'll see that this is a cool fucking thing, and I genuinely look forward to it every year. So you'll listen, you'll see that, and then next year, you can make the trip to Columbus, and we'll hang out. Mead Read. Whether you're from Columbus or not, go to brimminghornmeadery.com to get yourself some tasty mead. At checkout, use code EPITOMEAD, that's EPITOMEAD, and you'll get a 10% discount, and they'll ship that good stuff right to you, even if you're not in Columbus, because they're not in Columbus. There'll be links for them in the show description, so all you have to do is go there and start clicking and find the good stuff. Okay, as mentioned, this is the second of back-to-back local-ish shows, this time centered around the Prints and Pints event, which will be held August 16th at the Daily Growler here in Columbus, Ohio. Prints and Pints is where the guys at Upright Press and internationally used print shop here in Columbus. They pair some local breweries with some local artists to make a cool print for their beers. Then you get everyone into the Daily Growler to show, that's the Daily Growler. I kind of mumbled my way through that word, didn't I? To show off the art and have some beer. Again, it's great. What's not to fucking like about all this? Let's talk with the Upright guys more about it. This is the second round of fake local phone sounds. They sound like normal phone sounds, except for I'm doing it with my mouth. Beep, 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 boop, beep, ring. And they answered. On the line with me today are Jess and Michael of Upright Press, among many other fucking things. Fellas, how the hell are you today? We'll start with Jess.
Oh, happy to be here, man. Saturday, cool breeze outside, feeling good.
It is a fucking strangely beautiful day here in Columbus after all the shit that we've had here recently.
Yeah.
Michael?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I was able to sit on the back porch day and draw for a bit. That's a rare occurrence, these days and stuff. So yeah, absolutely. It's a beautiful day and ready to cut it up.
Hell yes. So let's start off simple with an overview. We'll start with Upright Press. An overview of Upright and then some cliff notes on the history of the Prints and Pints event that we're here to talk about today. Again, Jess, we'll start with you.
Mm-hmm. Upright Press is a small screen printing shop in Columbus, Ohio. We print anything we can get flat, and the ink is our drink.
Good moniker. Yeah. And too, it's a really cool environment as well. With us being a smaller shop too, I feel like we service a lot of really cool projects as well. Obviously working with a ton of bands with gig poster designs and stuff, which is really cool. I think to Jess and I, 'cause we're both big music nerds, and then on top of that too, like our merch stuff as well. Like, we will do large runs every once in a while, but I feel like the nature of the business that Jess has created brings people in that are really passionate about what they're doing. So the projects we get to, even from like merch designs and stuff as well, is really, really sweet. And it feels like you're working on somebody's baby as opposed to just, a bunch of, stuff that just is flowing around and everything too. So yeah, it's a really, really cool thing that Jess has built over the years.
We'll move from here to we'll call it a listener suggested question. And this time we'll start with Michael. And what do you listen to in the shop? And is it job site rules where the first person there gets to pick the music?
We have a separation with that. I think it's currently the setup is myself and our new employee Kay do. One of us does the morning, one of us is the afternoon of the shift. But it's a really good way to kind of just like, listen to what everybody's listening to. So those are kind of the site rules. The following days are usually then Jess and Allison. But yeah, it's a really cool way to see what people are listening to. Jess has this really like not rule but fun like anecdote that if you're using Spotify or something like that, don't let it automatically pick the next song. Like, you're an adult, we're all like in our 30s and 40s and stuff. Like, we should know what we want to listen to. But yeah, for me, like, man, I feel like my wheelhouse is stuck in the late 90s. I love like old school Sepultura with Max, a lot of old Slayer stuff, but also too with like current music and everything. Also a lot of Swedish death metal like Grave and Entombed, which I think I got people into finally. People are into Entombed now and Dismembered and stuff. But yeah, stuff like that. And then I think Jess and I, we really bounce back and forth, kind of turn each other on to like new stuff. And I think my pride and joy right now is the band Tropical Fuckstorm, which is kind of the weird psych rock band from Australia that I'm really into. And Jess and I saw them, was it last year or something like that? And it was an excellent show. But those are probably like kind of the ones that pop up the most for me in the studio.
So to make sure I've got this right, Tropical Fuckstorm.
Yes.
Now is the F and fuck capitalized? I just want to make sure I've got it right.
Yes, it would be capitalized.
Capitalized.
Yeah.
All right, got it.
Yeah.
Yes. Anything to add there?
Yeah, it's fun to take your turn playing the music, and it's fun for the other people to take their turn too, because you do get to know who people are in some ways through what they listen to. So yeah, everybody's got different tastes, and it just keeps it interesting. I think it's fun because people also, you start to, once you get to know the person, you can tell somebody's put something on that they want to listen to that they know the other people will also enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of just, you're going to listen to this and you're going to like it or dislike it. I don't care. It's all over the place.
That sounds like that was Michael's tack with Entombed, where you're going to listen to this until you fucking like it.
Well, yeah. Sorry, yeah.
He doesn't ram it. No, nobody rams anything down your throat. I mean, there's stuff you hear more than not, like Queens of the Stone Age gets played quite a bit. Helmet, I put Helmet on Failure a lot. A lot of hip hop stuff too. So,
absolutely, yeah.
What's a typical day like at Upright Press? Jess, we'll stay with you here.
Mm-hmm.
Man, it really does change quite a bit. But yeah, we get there at 9 and go right to print. Usually we have kind of two teams, one working on t-shirts and the other working on posters. Michael is nicknamed Mix Master because he's in charge of most of the ink mixing for the shop, which is really difficult to do for gig posters, to get it right and what the artist is envisioning for it, and what sometimes there's disconnect between what they envision and what is actually possible. But Michael usually always finds a way to make it right and as close as it can be to what their vision is. So yeah, Michael will be usually working on a poster, whether it's mixing ink or printing the poster or cutting it down, and Allison and Kay often printing shirts, but everybody kind of moves in and out. We eat lunch together and call it a day at 4:30.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Michael, anything to add there?
Yeah, and it's a smaller team too, I think, compared to most other shops. I think that that's kind of to our benefit too, because everybody kind of does everything. I mean, obviously, like we have our concentrations with me with posters, Allison with shirts, and Kay is kind of as now like the all over the place person in the space. But with it being smaller, a smaller operation like that, and having multi-tool players and stuff, I think it really creates a lot of understanding of about what everybody's trying to do. So if like someone needs support on a project or whatever, it's really kind of cool to kind of be able to swoop in and help out with that, and vice versa, you know, with them with our own stuff. And yeah, it's always kind of fun because I think sometimes we have like a day planned out the day before, and then like Jess will get a phone call at night about some crazy cool poster project we're gonna go do, and then you know then we come in and it's all different. But at the same time, like some of that stuff's like super exciting because I mean I feel like I enjoyed the pressure and the excitement of checking out new work from new artists and new situations and stuff too. So, and I think even like, I don't know if they admit it, but I think Allison and Kay maybe feel the same because it's just, it allows you to have the day goes by much faster, but also too, like the stuff you're working on is way more enjoyable when it's, you know, a lot of different and cool and neat stuff. So yeah.
At this point, there's really not anything that you guys don't cover. So when and what was the first time someone reached out to you and you were surprised by the job, be it because the artist, the event, or whatever? And are there still times, like it sounds like the answer to the second part is yes, based on what you were just saying there, Michael. But are there still times when you're surprised by whoever is setting something up or whatever the project may be that came out of a phone call to Jess? We'll keep with you, Michael.
Well, I'd leave that to Jess, kind of start it up, and I can maybe piggyback off of there since he's getting all the offers.
I mean, probably the first one I can think of is Brian Ewing. I didn't honestly realize, I was not aware of how big a fish he was when it's just because we were in the same city that I got in touch with him. But even, you know, Clinton Reno too was very early on. I was excited to have a chance to print some of his stuff, and we still do from time to time, even though he prints most of his own stuff. I mean, really flattered by anybody reaching out. I can't. I'm trying to think of somebody surprising.
The dude in the UK that does those Melvins and Unsane posters, like we'll get those randomly, right? Like Black Flag?
Dead Flag.
Yeah, Dead Flag. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you kind of wonder how did this European artist find us to do these? Like we did those Unsane, like Mike was saying, the Unsane posters for them, and that human impact. Yeah. I mean, so I'm getting the emails and kind of brokering the deal, but then, you know, I'm dishing it out to the team to kind of make it happen. So Michael probably has a different take on, oh, we're printing that. Do you have any posters where you thought, whoa, we're printing that?
Yeah. I mean, like, I think it's always funny when we have an artist come out of nowhere that's of a really big, just kind of in the poster world. Like the Primus one we did recently was kind of a quick turnaround, but like amazing artwork, and like having to figure out that stuff on the fly, I think is really, really cool and exciting. But I think that's always something that's really impressive to me, is that just, you know, we're located in Columbus, Ohio, but we're getting gigs that are not in Ohio, you know, or even like full on tours that you'll look at like the tour dates list and like there will be no Ohio date, but we're the ones printing it. And that's, I think also too, like really gratifying to me, just feeling that, you know, we're not just some local shop that is just doing only local stuff, and not that like we don't have a lot of really cool things going on locally and stuff too. Like our brewery scene has a lot of really cool stuff, which then created Prints and Pints. But like, I think that's always what's exciting to me, is that like it doesn't matter that we're a Central Ohio print shop, like we're a screen print shop for the world. But you know, in a lot of ways though, like it's become that over the years based on all of Jess's like hard work with it, and And I mean, I came in later in the game, like the company's been around for, what is it now? We're almost 10 years now. And like, I've only been here for 6, but at least when I've gotten in, just the foundation that was laid has caught the attention of a lot of people outside of just, Central Ohio. And that's really a cool feeling, to be a part of that stuff.
Yeah,
We'll
local. I just some of the local, like the Bluestone used to do that festival called Melted, and like Michael actually did the poster for the one right before the pandemic that got canceled.
Yeah.
Prior to that, those people at Archie Fox were reaching out to international artists, and we were able to screen print 3 or 4 different posters just for that gig alone. Like I think it was Deerhoof maybe, and Ty Segall,
Okay.
and just like from these artists from all over the world. So we get a lot of. It's an interesting way that it comes to us. Sometimes it is very local, and sometimes it's local from people that aren't local, and sometimes it's vice versa.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's also really cool too to also see, even with like Archie Fox or other booking companies around here too, like how many cool things come through town as well. Like I feel like sometimes like we won't even have a show on our radar and stuff, and it's like we're doing a poster for who, and they're gonna be here. Like, oh, we should probably go to that, stuff like that. And that's yeah, absolutely, yeah. We're very lucky. I think Columbus is cool too because it's like a moderate sized city. But we still get some pretty cool stuff coming through here as well, which then, sometimes we'll be able to get in on that action as well.
Yeah, you guys seem to have it all going on, and it's fucking awesome. We will we'll use this as a bridge to the whole keeping it local thing where, Michael, you mentioned something about the Prints and Pints thing there, and we'll go to that in full here. Give me Jess or Michael, I don't know which, probably Jess here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Give me like the Cliff Notes history of Prints and Pints.
Yeah, I had an idea to work with a brewery and do a poster for each of their beers, and get a crew of artists to kind of reinterpret a brand's beers, and I had a hard time getting anybody to take me up on that, but 4-String Brewing, I got a meeting with them, and they said let's do it. So I got a really great group of artists. They all did a different beer. 4-String's not here anymore, but everybody kind of reinterpreted each of their beers. Went really well. It was, I think Doc Robinson played that same night, so there was kind of some cross-pollination with the crowd, and sold a ton of posters. And Dan, who was the owner at 4-String, said, let's do it again. And I thought, I don't know if that can really work. I don't know if we can, how many different posters do people want of the same brewery? So I thought I'll do it with a different brewery, which I approached Land Grant, who I was working with a little bit already. And Walt at Land Grant had the idea that it might be better if we did it with a group of breweries, and that way it's not ever going to kind of get tired. And I said, that's great, but where do we have it? Because we can't have it at each person's brewery. He said, well, Daily Growler is kind of they're friends with all of these people, so it's the place where all those places sell their beer to already. So yeah, that's how it came to be.
Convenient. Michael, anything to add there?
Yeah, I mean, I was fortunate enough to be doing the first 4-Strings event all those years ago and stuff, and I remember just thinking it was a really kind of excellent and odd opportunity in the sense that like no one else had thought of it and stuff. I mean, in Columbus, the brewery scene here is pretty large, and obviously like one of the big things with brewing companies is the visual element is pretty important to get people to kind of pay attention to your product. So it was really kind of interesting to see that idea come to fruition. At the time that particular 4-Strings event was happening too, at that time I was teaching at Ohio State University. So this is before I was with the company. And I remember taking the kids to that event too, and for a lot of the printmaking students and stuff to go through and kind of see like just kind of what commercial print can become outside of just like a t-shirt design thing, that it's actually this thing that, you know, can really kind of influence markets, and also to like be these loud, you know, poster designs and stuff as well, that was really exciting to a lot of them too. So like as an event and stuff, it was kind of a cool thing because it could get, you know, academics and people that just wanted to drink the beer like into the same location and appreciate it for what it is. And then, you know, obviously then the years that followed, when it was a combination of breweries all over Columbus and stuff, I think that was really excellent, because just kind of figuring out, you know, new breweries going to the event and trying their new stuff, but also too getting to see them enjoy the work that we were producing too. Was really exciting in general. So I think it's just kind of one of these events that I think even for me, like, made me want to get involved with the company of Upright as well, because it felt like there was something really special happening here that could influence the community of the arts and in the printmaking world in Columbus in general. So like to see how much it's grown and existed for all these years, the 8 years now, and even to seeing the artists that rotate through as well. I feel like every 3 to 5 years, like, you know, somebody leaves and another person comes in. So there's a different influence that comes in from that, as far as like the artists that are coming in. Like, for instance, Chris from Takacs, you know, has been doing it. This is only second year and stuff, but, you know, I think that's cool to like see what he's, you know, working on with it, and just seeing new people come in and doing their interpretations with the different breweries that are around town. And the other cool thing about it too is when you work on that project, when you are working on a visual for a brewing company, if other brewers see it and they like it, you may get work from that as well too. So like I've done, you know, I've never did a design for Gamut, but I've been, you know, working with Gamut on like designs and stuff for the last couple of years and stuff, which has been really cool. And I think other artists have had the same path as well, just from that project. So it's also like a really good gateway into, you know, getting work in the future too. So it's a really cool event that goes beyond just beer. I think it's the visual too, and that's really nice.
I do genuinely love it. I think it's a great fucking idea, and more reasons to have cool fucking weird art for the sake of cool fucking weird art.
Right.
Clearly I'm all right with it. But it is a beer-centric event, and being that it starts at 11 a.m., how careful do you have to be about your intake to make it through the day? And how often do you see someone who's maybe enjoyed themselves a little too much at the event? Unless it's me, because that doesn't count. We'll stick with you there, Michael.
I mean, I usually have like 3 or 4 different things going on around the time. I remember I had like a critique at some it was like, I think with Columbus Printed Arts at that time, and like, so I had been drinking at the event and then gone down the street and did a crit for like printmaking, which was excellent, and then came back. But I mean, like, honestly, you know, it's just so cool to like see you know, people coming around and just having fun. And it's also really cool to see the brewers come by and just be like stoked that we're all here and we're just nerding out about brewing, and then the artists, you know, nerding out about the lines on their poster. You know what I mean? Like, for me, like, I'm wandering around so much, so my intake stays pretty decent the whole time. But Jess is there the whole time. I don't know, Jess, have you seen anybody fuck up? You
know, some people have more fun than others, but I think most people kind of are not there for the full 7 or 8 hours either. A lot of people come in and kind of take a look and then kind of come back in and out, go have a meal or something. So I honestly, I have always been a little bit worried about being there 7 hours, but it's so many people to talk to, and the time flies, and there's work to do and all that. So it's surprisingly always been very just right.
know?
Yeah.
So far,
yeah.
how about a simple list of both the artists and breweries that are involved in this year's Prints and Pints, which it will be, I don't think it's been said since we've started the actual conversation here, Prints and Pints. This is the 8th iteration. It will be August 16th here at the Daily Growler
In German Village.
in German Village, and hopefully the weather's just like this, so I can say lovely Columbus, Ohio. Jess, give us a list of the artists and breweries involved this year.
I think what I'm going to do is I'll name the brewery. You tell me the artist, or do you want it the other way around?
I mean, why don't you tell me the artist the other way around? This is
I'll tell you the artist and you tell me the brewery.
I
Okay?
love it.
I don't like, but anyway though.
Colin Williams.
Colin Williams. He's doing Yellow Springs.
Correct. Marcus. Oh shoot, Marcus. See, I've got it. I've got the cheat sheet in front of me. If you told me to tell you everybody's name, Marcus Blackwell.
Marcus Blackwell. Oh, geez. Is he doing Derive?
Yes.
Oh, God. All right.
On the spot. All right. Ryan Caskey.
He's doing Gamoot.
Andrew McNamara.
Andrew McNamara. He's doing North High. North High. Yeah, right.
4 for 4. Hey, Jung Lee.
She is doing Hoster.
That was the very first. We did that one about 6 weeks ago. Ready, Mike? Jack
was that?
Kelly. Jack Kelly.
Jack Kelly. All right, Jack Kelly. He's new. They're new.
Yeah, I'll give you a hint. There's a hint in his name.
Man.
Just add an E to his name.
Jeopardy plays.
Oh shoot, I don't know.
And it's one of your favorite places to eat and drink.
Oh, that's so many though. All right, hold on. What if Kelly Jack?
Add E to his name. What's his name?
Kelly.
Jack.
I don't know. Tell me.
Jackie O's.
Jackie O's. Oh. Oh, goodness. That's a nice poster, by the way. That's a lot of purple. See, I can tell you all about the poster, and then I'll be so devoid of every other element of my personality. There you go.
Well,
yes.
and the other thing is sometimes we know these people. Increasingly, I do. I'll speak for myself, knowing them by their Instagram handle. If I would have told Michael Ajax, he would have known exactly.
You would Ajax, because that's how we refer to him in the shop. Ajax.
Right.
Cheater, right.
Not fair.
Fine.
The rest of these you're going to get. I know. Paul Giovis.
Paul Jones did Landgrad. That's a loud fluorescent design right there. Watch out for that.
Just let me know when you're ready, Clint. Ready? John Martino.
John Martino did. That was a recent one we just did. That is Noctera. Should be Noctera.
Boom. Got it.
But Noctera, you know what I'm saying?
One of our printers is in the show this year for the second time. Allison Kennedy.
Mm-hmm. Allison Kenny. She did Parsons.
All right, give me a second there, because I've got 2 quick follow-ups. If this is the Allison I think it is, I don't need her Instagram handle because I love it. This is Allison is my hero, right?
That's right. Yes.
That is so good.
Let her be yours. Be yours too.
My love for Parsons is unending. I fucking love their beers.
And you saw her there at Parsons.
Right. That was when you accosted me because I said I like David Gilmour's fucking Pink Floyd era.
All right, there's 3 more. Chris Blaine, we mentioned already.
Seventh Son? Yeah, Seventh Son, yes.
Seventh Son.
Different.
Which I will continue to say until I get it. They did a pineapple wheat thing. I think it was pandemic time at this fucking point.
Yeah, right.
It was like my favorite fucking beer ever, and they stopped doing it, and I want it back.
Here we go.
Right. Amy Collar Anderson.
Bill Anderson, she did.
One of the newest breweries in town.
What was that?
One of the newest breweries in town.
I'll bet I can guess this one.
One of the newest breweries in
town.
Go
for it, Clint.
Yeah, go for it, Clint. Yeah,
I'm going to say Thunderwing.
Correct.
Dang, yes, it is a Thunderwing. Oh, man, that's going to be a cool gold foil print. Hope you guys are ready for that.
Yeah.
Fancy.
That, again, I'll know the image, and then because I'm just caring about that half the time. But anyway, yes.
And last but not least, Max Schaller.
Max
We've
Shaw.
been printing. We just printed some shirts of his for a heavy metal zine.
Mhm.
He's doing. What animal is it, Mike?
Well, it's Wolf's Ridge, and it's a very cool, like, yeah, very cool illustrative heavy metal, but like kind of like a goofy, like a just really cool illustration method for
Yeah,
absolutely.
like how cute evil somehow.
Cute evil. That's cute evil. Yeah, get rid for
Right.
cute Wolf's Ridge. You know.
Writing down cute evil. I've got dibs on that as a band name.
Yeah.
So the event here, this being the 8th iteration of it,
Mhm.
what do you look forward to most every year, and what do you know is going to be a pain in the ass every year in setting these things up?
Well, I'm organizing the thing, so I mean the crew is just making everything look perfect, print wise. So they luckily don't have to do the other organizational stuff. What do I look forward to? John makes mysterious trophy for the best in show every year.
John
And,
of Daily Growler, right?
yes, John Blakely, one of the owners at Daily Growler. It's always mind blowing. Michael has actually won. He was chosen best in show one year for his poster he did for Yellow Spring.
It was Langren one. Yeah.
Oh, it was your Land Grant one. Okay. Yeah. But we have a juror every year, and the juror picks best in show, and that person is blessed with John's insane trophy. There's quite a presentation for it. I always look forward to that because I never have any idea what he's going to do. What's a pain in the ass? Just little, like, making sure I bring the plastic bags.
It's not just that, but yeah, I mean that is a big one. Yeah.
Making sure the card reader works. But just little stuff. Every year we've had volunteers come, and they come and sell the posters for the artists, and I mean that makes my life much easier. They do it with a smile. They do a good job with it. There's John has a beer if I need one. I'm seeing all the people I love to see. There's nothing I really dread except forgetting the bullshit, which I do every year.
Yeah, right. Yeah. For me, it's just like, I mean, the exciting thing for me is just getting the variety of a different artists to kind of work with. I think the one thing with Prints and Pints, like I was talking about before, the rotation that we get as far as the different people coming in gives me new imagery to look at. And because the edition amounts are, in that, 30 quantity and stuff, usually it's really easy to just kind of maneuver between each layer because like, it never gets boring. I'm like bouncing through a bunch of different, projects and stuff. And that's really exciting for me to kind of see new people come and see what they do. And I think always, and kind of one of the challenges is too, like when new people do come in, I mean, some have, quite a bit of screen printing experience, others don't. And even I would say the ones that don't are probably more exciting because then they have more lofty expectations of us. And, we then, have to kind of work within that to kind of create something. And they do too, to help trap images and stuff, but they always do a great job. And I think the respect for the event and how long it's been going on is kind of like required that out of the people that come through and work with us. And that's really a beautiful thing. And yeah, so I'd say like, it's kind of a double-edged sword. Like the annoying thing for me is like new people coming in and like learning it, but then also too, I thought it's just figuring. I love as a master printer. I do have my MFA. I do really appreciate taking the time to figure shit out. That's the funnest bit for me. And making somebody who probably doesn't have a lot of expectations of like what the project is, like come in and like, walk in and look at it and just be like, whoa, bam, like, cause you're looking at a screen all this time, like most of the people that are working with us, they're working through Photoshop and Illustrator and they've only seen it on their screen. And then to see, become fully realized as an 18 by 24 print, is really exciting stuff. And to me, like, I want everybody to have that feel that moment of just like, wow, like, like I did this, and, like I'm facilitating and keeping it, what the vision is, but, they did do it. I want them to have that experience. So, yeah.
Is this, I don't have experience outside of Columbus to lean on here. Is this, do you know of other things like this elsewhere?
I mean, not exactly, but I don't remember consciously doing this, but later realizing it's not that different from Pinch Flat.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember that event. It was a kind of a bicycle themed event Wild Goose used to put on, and they would have people do small runs of screen printed posters for that. But so that's the closest thing I could think of, and that was in Columbus. So, yeah.
I don't think that there is really anything similar to this that I know of. I think the big thing for me too with it is that because it's combining, like this commercial beer element and then the the art element of the illustrators and artists and stuff is that it kind of, the merger of that, I think is, I can't recall anybody that does that. So it's really exciting in that sense for me.
Is there a thought process, or what is the thought process behind what artists are paired with which breweries? I'm going to guess this one goes to you, Jess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's I try and be as democratic with it as possible, because there are some breweries that are maybe more attractive, and some maybe that people don't even know that they exist yet. So I just it's a first come first serve thing. So I kind of organize, get the artists on board, get the breweries on board, and then after everybody's said yes on both sides, then I kind of tell them this day, this time, first person to email me who you want gets that brewery. You have to give me your top 3 choices, and then they so it's usually decided within seconds of who's got who. So that's how that goes. So that way, that's the easiest way I can do it without having any favoritism or leave it to look at the timestamp. Okay, this is not me. This is you.
Outside of that, it's either that or lottery balls, right?
Yeah.
Right. And I will say too, Allison probably laments this too a little bit as well. Like, he doesn't, even though Allison works at Upright, like she did not get a, hey, I'm going to send this at noon, or whatever. It's like, it is literally first come, first serve. And I think that that's a really cool element of it too, because then there's no like preparation for like, I'm going to get so-and-so and I'm going to, do that up. It's like, no, we want it to be as organic as possible. So, yeah.
It's probably not, I don't think it's perfect, but it's as close as I can get to being fair with that. So, yeah.
Absolutely.
What's more difficult to get on board or wrangle, artists or breweries? I assume this is you, Jess.
The first time for both sides is a bit of a conversation. I maybe think of one time where someone said, I don't want to do that again. But almost everybody has been really positive about it and said, I hope you'll invite me next year. So the bigger the brewery, the harder it is to get to the person who can,
the person you need to talk to.
Yeah, and artists, I'd say stereotypically are not quick to respond, but it's usually not the case. But it certainly happens. It's hard to know what channel to communicate with people now. Most of what I do at work is emailing, because people are sending me large files and just all in one place. But some people want a DM, they want an Instagram DM, they want a text, they want it, so it's hard to figure out where to hit people up.
So many options.
Yeah.
Anything to add, Michael?
Yeah, I agree. And even too with the artist stuff as well. I mean, I do a lot of show organizing outside of the shop and print exchange stuff too. There is a certain bit of, like, to Jess's point, where like a preferred method for all of us to kind of communicate. So like there will be things where I'll be like sending emails to people about a certain event or whatever, and then I'll get a message on Instagram saying like, I didn't know that this was happening, you know, or whatever. And so it's kind of just like figuring out those channels for each person, because each person, you know, because there are so many methods now of communication that we do have available to us, and that's complicated in its own right. But yeah, Jess is doing all the legwork with that stuff and figuring those things out. So I only hear the distilled, precise thing by the time it gets to me, that Jess has gone through. But at the same time, I mean, I can't really name a lot of occasions in which, you know, we've had to leave it late because of an artist or a brewing company too. So that's really kind of cool that it all still functions the way it's supposed to. So yeah.
How much thought process goes into balancing things between bigger breweries and newer or smaller ones? Again, I assume this is you, Jess.
Mm-hmm.
I want to keep it interesting. There's some breweries that people would be really disappointed if they weren't there. And there's others that I mean, yeah, like keeping something new every time is what I'm striving for. But also I feel like, well, I've heard that breweries are really love this event, because they don't have to, it's not a beer tasting where they have to man a tent and people are just trying to drink as much as humanly possible and not remember what they had.
Mm-hmm.
They're trying to like, I spent $30 to get in here and I'm going to drink $70 worth of beer. This event it's really showcasing their brand is a reinterpretation, and it's fun, and they don't have to do anything. All they've got to do is pay the artist. They don't have to send a person. They don't have to, you know, they're selling a keg to the Daily Growler. So they like how hands off it is, and how that's, I think, quality versus quantity. The people that are there are really into it. They're not just kind of tagging along and trying to get blackout drunk. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Right.
Not trying to get clutch drunk.
See, callback. Good job. We'll explain that later there, Michael. And for people listening, I'm not going to explain it. Anything to add to it there, Michael?
Yeah, absolutely. And like I said before too, it's always really cool to see the brewers in there just chilling and just having fun and stuff too. Because I think, like what Jess was saying, it is like their job is done by the time that they come through that door, and they're just looking at stuff. And that's a really cool feeling to see them excited about the work from particular artists. And then back to the point too about larger and smaller brewing companies, I think it's always great whenever we get an artist that maybe a bigger name artist or like a, you know, smaller artist think it's a bigger name brewing company or whatever. It's great to see those things kind of like piggyback off each other in some way, you know, that you know, allow them to both evolve in different ways, and that's something that this event can provide that very few other ones can. So yeah.
We'll do a quick shout out to the sponsors for this year's event, of which there are a few. I have them listed here, so if it looks like I'm reading something, it's because I fucking am. I have them as Bite This, supplying some tasty baked goods, Watershed Distillery with a smattering of awesomeness for all the artists, Studio 35 providing some movie passes and more, the Pizza Box providing pizza, Rose Donuts providing donuts, and of course the Daily Growler, where the event and trophy ceremony will be taking place. That's an awesome enough list to make anybody want to start exercising their artistic abilities to hopefully be involved here. How do these partnerships come about?
Thank you for listening to that, because these are all small businesses that they're just giving this stuff away to these artists for free. I'm always blown away. I have not posted one of them, which is Two Tigers Coffee. They're going to be giving away a bag of coffee to each of the artists as well. They've got a new.
The only thing that rivals beer in awesomeness is fucking coffee. You guys literally have it all.
Well, they're all customers that we work with, and that I feel comfortable asking. I'm very upfront and saying, let's do something that is mutually beneficial, you know, for you and for the artists. And whatever you want to give. You want to give everybody a sticker. That's awesome. You want to give them a bottle. I don't know if you said Watershed.
I did.
But their list, this list of what they're giving is crazy.
What are they giving?
The bottle. They're going to give some. They have socks. They're giving a guest pass to the tour, pre-tour passes. I mean, it's nuts. So yeah, this is the third year we've had sponsors, and they get $100 gift card to Upright for a future poster project too.
The community's response to this thing, both people coming to and people, businesses willing to do this. How surprised are you year after year that this keeps growing and keeps being something that the community loves?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what do you think, Mike?
I mean, I just think that it's, like I said before, as an event, pretty original in its own right, and something that's uniquely Columbus too. Like we had, we get always like really great press for it, and a few years ago too, what was it? PBS like did a documentary about two of the artists that were included, Natasha Wheeler and Dustin Brinkman, and just kind of their evolution of their projects. So I think it's a really good entry for a lot of people to get art and stuff, and I think that's why it's just really, really popular. And as much as things like ebb and flow and stuff, like the idea of like beer and art together is just really easy. So yeah, I mean, I'm not so surprised after the foundation was created of it and stuff, and after we got through a few years, I'm not very surprised how much it's been able to kind of like stand the test of time.
Yeah, we've the first year where there was a line out the door before they opened the door was kind of mind blowing. And people really came out. We did it one year for the pandemic, and we didn't even have the event. People still showed up and bought posters. They made a point to come out, even though I think one reason they sell well is because it's fun to be there and be around the artists and be around friends and just everybody's having a good time. That was out the window with the pandemic, and people still came and supported the artists and got the posters. So it still went really well. I mean, we're selling close to, there's 360 possible posters to buy at the event, and we're selling close to 300 every year consistently. So our artists get 100% of the profits from it. So if you're selling 30 posters at $25, I think that's $700.
I'm not doing math. I was told there was no math.
Yeah, no, it's a good chunk of change, along with the fee that you're getting from the brewery that's coming out, which I think also has the incentive too for the artist to really push it out there and do a good job. And I also think it's too really cool that the breweries are willing to be involved in that sense too, understanding that it's some way to market themselves. And I think most, if not all, brewing companies too, when they get into this, they understand that like the artist is going to come in and pitch something to you, be flexible, and they usually are very, very flexible. And even if they're not, it's just because they have things that they want to show, and that maybe makes it easier for the artist too. And I think that that's a really excellent thing that we have with it.
Up till now, what has the highlight of Prints and Pints been for you guys? Yes.
Seeing an artist sell a poster out is really fun. We have it happens quite a bit. But yeah, a lot of times the posters sell out. I mean, sometimes they've sold out in less than 15 minutes. The smile on somebody's face when they sell their poster out is pretty great.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with the sellout thing. And then even too, like, just for me, I mean, winning it a couple of years ago was really cool. When I did it for land grant and stuff, and all the subsequent ones I've done afterwards, but that was really cool. And I think that the biggest thing for me too now, at least that I'm not like a part of it as an illustrator but as a printer, I think just artists coming in and like really feeling very good about how it turned out, and being excited, or just being like I didn't think this would work, and I think that for me is the biggest thing, is just giving people's vision a reality. And that's probably my favorite bit of it.
Dream collaboration. What artist, what brewery would you want to pair together? We'll stick with you, Michael.
Ooh, dream collaboration. Oh, geez, that's a tricky one. Just because I mean, there's so many great people here that have done Prints and Pints in some capacity. I mean, like with me, with me doing a bunch of illustration work for Gamut and stuff, I feel like I want to pair somebody up with them all the time, just because they have such great, like, fantastical imagery and stuff, and also, you know, just have such a really good beer product and stuff too. But like, I mean, I don't know. Like, we're gonna play Takacs in a bit. Like, I mean, Chris playing with Gamu would be really super sick. I mean, I think he's done 2 years, 2 years, two different posters, and he's done skulls in some way, shape, or form. And I feel like that maybe something really excellent could happen between them two. So yeah, next year, Chris, if you're in it, you know, pick Gamut, and Gamut, if you're willing to, you know, be a part of it, pick, you know, let Chris in. Anyway, that'd be my.
Yeah, I don't think there's not a brewery that I've like not been able to get on board that I've wanted. So, well, that's not true. That's not true. I always thought Hoof Hearted would be a really good candidate for this, but it's just I've just never heard back from them, which is fine. But I love their artwork, and it's so goofy and so gig poster-ish that I feel like it would be really cool to see somebody else take one of their amazing ideas and do something with that. But so that maybe one day. But what I'd really like is to have like maybe 1 year to have Methane Studios, which they went to school at CCAD, so they know Ohio stuff. They're down in Georgia now, but have them jury the show 1 year.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty awesome because they're, I mean, OG poster artists.
Is there an overall goal for Prints and Pints that you guys haven't reached yet?
I wouldn't call it a goal. I mean, it'd be awesome if we had a full sellout. I mean, for the artists, that would be incredible. I don't expect that. And it's not a goal. But I think the main goal, one thing I really like about it is it is a way for people that maybe wouldn't make a trip to a gallery or a museum to go and see art. And I guess in a pie in the sky thing, some sort of gateway to seeing more art. Like, what was that? That was screen printing. I want to know more about screen printing or printmaking, or I liked going to see art. Maybe I will go see more art. I don't know if how far that goes with that. But that's the more of that, the better. Because art's so important. And people don't go support it enough and go check it out. So I'm glad to have an event where people do.
Yeah, I totally agree with that statement as well. I think that's the one thing with the White Cube Gallery set as a person who shows in a lot of, you know, fine art settings and stuff. It's something that you want to make sure that everybody feel like they can be involved in some way, shape, or form. And I think events like this allows people to have the gateway of caring about certain elements that are, you know, that are important to us. And that's a really positive thing. I think the other thing too for me as well is, like, as this event continues, you know, we've really amassed a lot of really great artwork and stuff as well. And as maybe we get to 10 or 12 years or whatever, since it's 12 different artists, you know, to have it in a White Cube, like, fine art gallery and show everything we've, you know, accomplished over all these years with this event, I think it'd be really cool too. Just to have it become something that's truly a legacy thing that's important to the city, beyond just the event date, but now, as you know, just like what we've done over all these years, you know, it'd be really cool to kind of see that piece together, and instead of being 12 posters, be, you know, hundreds of them, because we've done now close to hundreds of them, and that's neat.
Yeah, a 10-year like legacy showcase would be fucking cool.
Absolutely.
Before we round this into the goofy ass way that we'll end this thing, are there any additional shout outs or thanks that you guys want to mention that I have forgotten?
John Blakely at Daily Growler. I mean, he's just a great partner to do this with. He makes it fun. He works hard. He lets us have a lot of control on it, and he does the things that we need him to do, and it all goes off without a hitch. So big shout out to him. I mean, if Michael wasn't here, I'd be shouting him out, because those pushers look the way they do because of what he's doing on press. So yeah, for sure. Yeah, this is where you hit your clap or your air horn. You have the air horn thing?
I do not. We don't do sound effects here. I make stupid noises with my mouth, so I'll do a fake air
Please
horn.
please don't do that effect. I'll just appreciate the smiles. That's fine.
In relation to this, Michael, I'll give you a chance here in just a second.
Yeah.
One of the first times I was there at the Daily Growler for Prints and Pints, there was a bartender, and I was, an hour in and maybe more than too many beers in, and I kept trying to get like a specific taste or beer from this guy, and he kept saying, "That's what you have." And I kept saying, that's you're describing what you're holding. So whoever you were, I'm sorry. Michael,
Wait, what was the question again?
any additional shout outs or thanks or people to apologize to?
Yeah, just in general, Jess for setting it up and everything, John for being such an excellent host for us. Shout out to all the artists that have done, such great work this year and even years prior, in the breweries for, supporting this event in a way that, gives it a leg to stand on as far as financially. And I think that that's just, in general, like that's, to me, all those components get this thing to work as well as it does. So yeah. Thanks. And our sponsors as well, too. Those are excellent.
The whole list of them.
The whole list of them.
So you guys have been really great. This has been, I've enjoyed this conversation because, again, I adore this event. We're going to dumb it down now with the patented stupid fire questions here that I've tried to combo the usual things with some things that are kind of tailored to this.
Mm-hmm.
We'll do a standard rotation of Jess and then Michael. We'll start with an easy one here. Coffee or tea?
Who's starting?
You're starting.
Coffee.
Yeah, coffee. Yeah. Iced coffee though, not hot coffee. Iced coffee. Yeah.
Black coffee.
Yeah, Michael has been removed from the conversation. That's my favorite local beer? Put you on the spot.
I can't answer that.
Guys organizing an event, like I can't.
Legally or personally?
I like to experiment, trying new stuff all the time. I just bought some Wolf's Ridge Pale Ale last week. I'm enjoying the new Dispatch beer. The last double IPA I really liked was Land Grant's Big Time. But everybody who's a part of it, I'm drinking their beer. Parsons Kolsch is amazing.
Favorite of mine.
Yeah, good. But I could easily go down the list and tell you what beer I like from each of these breweries. Seriously, but that's not the question. I drink a lot of CBC IPA, just straight up too. So,
Michael.
Yeah, I feel like I feel the same as with Jess as far as all the different ones, but as far as like ones that I probably drink on the regular, the Parsons Kolsch is phenomenal. That's the shop beer. But even though even with that too, but even like at Gamut too, like some there quite a bit. The Skull Crusher beer that they have is really fantastic. Their Golem Czech Pilsner, I love a Czech Pilsner. It's great that we had such a good one here in town. And then, this is a shout out to Land Grant, but bring back that 1862, baby. Let's fucking go right again,
That was a good one. Yeah.
There,
we have happy hour weekly, and sometimes we go over to Hoster, which is like a 10th of a mile from our spot. So drink a lot of Gold Top over there, and that Eagle Dark is good too. So.
Yeah, Hoster's Kolsch also rips really good. Yeah, that's a good like post work. Not hydrating, but like it feels hydrating. But yeah, no, Hoster's Kolsch just plants really hard. Yeah.
This is their first year doing the 2 Hosters, so.
What's the best beer label you've seen?
I mean, this is gonna sound favoritism or something, but maybe it is. But yeah, the Skull Crusher is just bad to the bone that Michael did for Gamut. I'll start there.
Yeah, I really enjoy making that design. But then again, too, not to get back on Landgrant, but their 1862 with like the white can with like the etching of the dude's face and stuff. Like, I mean, so like to me, like the simplicity, but yet good illustrative quality is what I really care about. And even too, like the loud designs are cool too. Like there's been a lot of really cool ones that, you know, Seven Sun has put out over the years too, that are really illustrative and painterly as well. But yeah, I'm a sucker for that 1862 label, man. I just love it.
Yeah, I mean the Seventh Son, the assistant manager, that drawing, that pretty great. And I'm trying to think. I mean, Derive's actually got some really good stuff too.
Yeah,
they're doing different stuff than I see on most other people's cans. Yeah, so like real designy vaporwave stuff sometimes.
Yeah, with design looking stuff, which I think is kind of cool to add. I mean, like the illustrative and painterly stuff, even, I mean, they're not involved in the event, but like, you know, Great Lakes where they're like putting, you know, those paintings up and stuff, those are always cool to see. But like see a brewing company that really kind of brands themselves in an effective manner, not just like illustration wise, but design wise, is always really cool to see. And again, not to get back to Landgrant, but like Landgrant, I feel has always had that too and stuff. And most that's, I think, from like with Walt's, you know, illustrated or like design background. But yeah, it's always cool to see.
Beatles or the Stones?
Oh fuck.
Stones. I mean,
that is the right answer.
It's Beatles for me, just because my dad is a very big Beatles guy and stuff. But I will say this: Jess has made me care more about the Stones in the last, you know, 6 years than I thought was possible. I will say too, like the one of the first CD I ever bought was "Tattoo You" by the Stones. So I mean, you know, there's that, but still, it's the Beatles for me. That was growing up. That was the thing. So yeah.
What's the last piece of art you bought?
I bought a subscription to a local zine called Big Mess. That is this from Clatter Press. Who, man, this really sounds like just a total script for this. But they actually just did some, and maybe that's why it's fresh in my mind. But they made some masks for the event. So like the first 30, 40 people that come in will get one of these masks. So it's the logo is a big colorful 8. So if you turn the 8 sideways, it's a mask. So like you cut the holes out of it, and you'll be able to wear an 8 and look
fancy,
like you're having a good time.
Yeah.
So, but big. I mean, it's a piece. It's a zine, but it's a real piece of art because it's printed using Riso printing. And they have a lot of artists in there writing and designing. It's a cool little thing.
Yeah. So as a printmaker, I'm pretty fortunate that I get to trade with a bunch of other artists and stuff as well. As a printmaker, you have editions of your work, so you have multiples of your work. So you can, if you like somebody's work, you can maybe trade for it as opposed to purchasing it, which is part of the culture. But I went to the Mid-American Print Conference. It was last year in Kansas, and I got this print from Vanessa Jobar, who's in Oregon and stuff. But this is a cool little thing. It's an etching. But that was the last print that I got. Yeah, it's a big old one. Yeah, but I traded one of my prints for that. But I mean, I get so many. I'm able to do like so many little trades and stuff with people, which is really cool to just kind of get the large amount of artwork there. That way. But yeah, I'm constantly looking for new prints to trade with or buy or whatever. And yeah, it's really fun.
How about you, Clint? What's the last piece of art you bought?
Oh, son of a bitch. I guess it would have been something from so the last one would have been, you know what? I didn't buy that. My kids bought that for me. The last one I would have bought would have been whatever the print was for the Queens of the Stone Age show here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Awesome.
What's a song you grew up with that you hope to never fucking hear again?
Maybe that CNC Music Factory song. Dang, what is the name of that song? I've successfully forgotten it.
One.
What? Things that make you go,
Oh.
Yeah.
For me, probably Mambo Number 5 by Lou Bega.
You're not the first person to say that.
Oh my god. Yeah, my like that was my brother. So it's funny, like my brother's way more like tack death metal-y than I am. He's a dad now, maybe he's a little less, but it's funny, like I bought Rolling Stones when we went out to go CD shop and he bought Lou Bega. So just take that, Steve Wigman.
What's the first album you ever bought? Not format specific.
Not format. What was this, the first? What I could say the first album I really cared about that has like a good story. Can I do that?
I still want to know the first one you actually bought.
Well, the first one I actually bought was "Tattoo You" by the Rolling Stones. That was
I didn't realize. I didn't.
Yeah,
sure.
but the actual like story. Sorry, Jess. I just love this.
A good story.
It's a good story, but like my parents were really anti-parental advisory when I was a kid, so like I wasn't able to purchase any like Korn albums or Limp Bizkit albums or whatever. And I remember we were at a media play. I don't know if anybody can respond to that, but media play was in Toledo, Ohio, and we went there. And I was trying to get like the new Korn record at the time, and my dad's like, "We're not going to do that." But so I looked in the metal section and I saw Sepultura's Arise record sitting there. And I was like, well, that's not parental advisory, Dad. Can I get that? And he just, I mean, and obviously, like, it's kind of crazy to think, but like the album cover of that, it's like this orange, like this brain and all these spears coming out and this eyeball and stuff. And he's like, well, it's not parental advisory. It's probably fine. And I remember getting back home and like putting that thing on as like, you know, like a 12-year-old kid and just being like, fuck everything Korn, fuck everything Limp Bizkit, like this is it. And then got really into Slayer. I mean, Deftones was always a big thing too at the time, which is kind of probably as new metal as I get now, but and they're awesome. But yeah, the Sepultura Arise record changed my life in more ways than one. So yeah.
My parents were the same way about the parental advisory thing, and my dad walked back into my bedroom the one time I was listening to Far Beyond Driven, and it was on that weird song right in the middle of the fucking album where he's talking about I fucked your girlfriend last night and where you stored, and he walks in right as he's going through all that.
Yeah,
he looks at me like I've got 12 fucking heads, and then he turns around and walks out of my room. Doesn't even say whatever the fuck it was that he came in to say. Comes back like 2 minutes later, and I've got it planned out at this point. Comes back at like 2 minutes later, still doesn't say whatever the fuck it was that he came into the room for. Says, "Give me that CD." I gave him Cowboys from Hell. You can have this one. Right.
Really?
Jess?
That's funny. I had the Far Beyond Driven album. I'd taken scissors and cut out the parental advisory part off of there so that in case somehow they were rifling through my stuff, they would not see that it was parental advisory. The first album I bought was Information Society, which was 80s sounding. I want to know what you're thinking. Remember that song? Maybe not.
No.
It was like it just barely broke the top 40. Loved that song. That was like the only tape I owned for maybe 3 years or something.
We'll pick up with you singing, and the next question will be, what's your go-to karaoke song?
I always really wanted to, and I used to live in Atlanta, and they had metal karaoke. They had a live metal band playing for people to sing karaoke to. And I always had ambitions to go sing Mother.
Oh,
Which I thought would be easy, but I don't think I ever got the guts to go do it. I certainly never went to the metal bar to do it. I may have sung Mother somewhere, but yeah. Usually I'd get in on a karaoke song and realize I have no business trying to hit these notes.
My mother's a very good one, but I remember years ago I was at a conference and I sang "Run to the Hills" by with 3 of my other printmaking buddies and stuff, and that was a moment. Let's put it that way. That was good. That was a good fun. But probably something which is like really high pitched, or even like Abigail by King Diamond or whatever, like something that's just so ridiculous that I won't be able to hit the note and it'll just be raspy for the my pick on that one.
Sausage links or patties?
Links.
Oof. I like patties because my mother-in-law, that's the one thing when we're visiting them and stuff, she gets us some good sausage patties and stuff in the morning. Good Buffalo, New York, Western New York breakfast right there,
Making me hungry.
Yeah.
The last one here is going to be specific for you guys, and it's describe Prints and Pints in 3 words.
Beer art posters.
Mm.
Not necessarily in that order.
Simple and safe.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Delicious.
Adjectives.
I'm just trying to be like visual and fun. I was on the spot. I can't.
There it is. We've done it all. The last question here that before we round into the thanks is super specific to this show. Nobody's ever done this before. It's very unique. You've never heard this previously, let alone me say all of this thrown up right to this question that everybody's heard before. Again, we'll start with you, Jess. You get sent to an island by yourself, rest of your life. You get to take one album with you. What's the album?
I feel like this is a question we've broached at work.
No, that can't be possible. It's only done here.
Yeah. Do you have anything right off the top of your head, Mike? Do you already know the answer to this question?
I do. If you want to, I can.
Please go first. Yeah.
Sepultura's Chaos AD record. That, man, such a good one for me too. And I think even too, like kind of reflecting on, what we're going through currently, just such a great album. And I remember too, after listening to that record for the first time, this is going to be odd to make it the desert album or like, the island album. But like, I remember being like physically sick after listening to that one, just because of all like the heaviness that was going through like Max's vocals and stuff and the riffs and everything. But yeah, Sepultura's Chaos AD is unmatched for me. And I'm so that they're not coming to Columbus with their fucking tour. But maybe I'll go to Indiana anyway, though. So that's Sepultura's Chaos AD is my
that album is so fucking great, man. And it's like, it feels like it's front loaded, but the more you listen to it, the more you realize, I don't think so.
Absolutely.
This shit like the Fist and Nomad and all that.
That Nomad kick in, I've actually done in the shop before when I finished a job. And I don't know, Jess, you remember this, but I finished a job. I was finishing a job and I made sure to sync it up to like the stop on the job. And then just like came into that. But yeah, that record, it's front loaded at first, and then you live it.
The more you listen to it, the more you realize the back half is where it's at.
Everything, yes, absolutely. Propaganda, everything. Yep.
Fuck yeah.
I might say Betty by Helmet. But maybe a Radiohead album too. It's a terrible thing to think about that you'd be stuck with one album because you'd come to hate that album that you love so much.
Right.
Only one album for your whole life, the rest of your life. It's a nightmare scenario.
At this point, I'd like to say that if you're in Columbus on August 16th, I hope to see you at both Pints and Prints and Blockout Bash because you guys fucked me and doubled up on that. So I'm going to be completely useless the day after that. If you don't see me at Prints and Pints, again, you can find me at Blockout Bash, and I'll probably be stumbling that point because Prints and Pints. Thanks as always to the Brimming Horn dudes for partnering with the show. Their links are in the show description. And remember to use code EPITOMEAD, EPITOMEAD at checkout. There will also be links for the podcast in the description. Hit that there subscribe button for me, please, and give a follow on the socials because that's what people do. Takacs are going to wrap us up. Other than that, I'm going to kick it back over to Jess and Michael and say, thanks for talking with me today, and I look forward to seeing you guys in person here in a couple weeks.
Hell yeah.
Excited about it. Yep.
Say bye.